I'm turning 25 today. I haven't planned this very well. There will probably be a divide with that statement. Next month for October, the theme is, I love that. So I'm going to call that,
Honestly, why am I like this? Somebody help me.
first box packed up and ready to go. Good morning. So I am actually feeling a little bit worse for wear today. I feel a little bit ropey. You can probably hear it in my voice. I am full of cold, but today is actually my birthday. I'm turning 25 today. So it's Tuesday today, and which means that my husband is at work, my child is at school, I am on my own in the house with the cats, and I have work to do myself. I have so much coming up in the next 10 days-ish. I just thought rather than spending the day, my birthday, on my own feeling groggy, I thought I would take you through the process of packing up my subscription boxes, because that is one thing I absolutely need to get done this week before the madness of next week begins. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Hannah. I run my small business, the Little Isla Co, where I provide premium quality glitters to crafters and artists. And then here on YouTube, I make day in the life vlogs, behind the scenes of my small business, and tutorials. So next week is a really busy week for the Little Isla Co HQ. You may already know I am going to be exhibiting at CraftFest on Saturday the 4th of October. I will leave some information here on the screen for you and in the description box, just in case if you wanted to buy a ticket and come along. There will be lots of us exhibiting there with lots of different craft supplies. But me being me, I haven't planned this very well. So CraftFest is on Saturday the 4th of Saturday the 4th of October. But exhibitors can set up the night before. So I need to get to the venue on the afternoon evening of Friday the 3rd of October. I have a meeting in London that morning. So I'm going to have to get up early doors, get the train into London, which door to door is almost 2 hours, have the meeting, come back, and pretty much hop straight in the car and drive then to the CraftFest venue, which is about an hour and 15, hour and 20 from me, to then set up for the event, to then drive home again, to then go back on the Saturday morning. So it is going to be a lot. So with that Friday being so like bam, 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 thing after thing after thing, that means I needed to have loaded the car with all of my exhibiting stock for CraftFest on Thursday of next week. Thursday is going to be a bit of a scramble day, and I thought, well, I don't want to leave it to just that one day. What if I forget something, or what if I'm not thinking straight? So I thought, well, that's fine. I can use maybe the Wednesday and the Thursday. But the Wednesday is the 1st of October, and the 1st of the month is when my Sparkle subscriptions renew. Usually it's the 2nd of the month that I then pack them up and ship them off, because it gives me, like, the 1st is the day when they would renew, and then the 2nd is the day that I physically send them off. But we've just established that the 2nd is the Thursday, and I need to use that for CraftFest prep. So I thought, right, Wednesday is going to be the subscription day. But Wednesday, I've gone and booked myself a hair appointment. It's going to be a little bit of a scramble. So then I thought, right, so I'm left with Monday and Tuesday, but obviously I have an actual business to run in the meantime. So it is all going to be a huge scramble next week. So I thought today, in order to get myself organised and feel a little bit less stressed out, that I would pack up the subscription boxes today. And then when they renew next week, it will literally just be a case of putting the shipping labels on and getting them out to you guys. So today, the plan is that I am going to take you through the process of packing up my subscription boxes. You will obviously see what the October glitters are going to be. Next month for October, the theme is autumn. I haven't decided on the official name for the theme yet, but it's like autumnal, foresty, warm, cozy, kind of change of season vibes. While I'm feeling a bit ropey, you can keep me company on my birthday, and let's get these subscription boxes packed up. Obviously, whilst I am an organised queen and I like to get things sorted, I am also a creative, and I have about 6,000 tumblers that are on the go or like at various different stages of their making process, this being one of them. This is going to have, I'll show you the decal that's going on. Actually, let me show you the print first. So as you can see, this is the print that goes all the way around, and then we have this glitter gap in the middle, and in there we're going to have this little guy. this morning, I just started putting on the like striping. As you can see, the little stripe that goes around the top, the one that goes at the bottom. I have some striping to go around the diamond. Then we can get the decal on, and then it will be ready for its last coat of epoxy. And I have a few that are like that are in different stages of the process. So, and you can probably see them all here on the spinner. There's a lot going on, and my mind, I don't know if you feel the same, but my mind cannot get into the zone of any task whilst I feel like there are lots of different moving parts. It's kind of like having too many tabs open in your brain at any given time. So I feel like I need to shut some of those down, so I feel a little bit more like further on in the process of that. And then we can get onto these subscription boxes. So please feel free to make yourself a brew, make yourself a coffee. I've just finished my second coffee of the day. Yeah, get cozy and let's get going. Right then, so that feels better. So these three have all finished the whole process. Those ones are almost at the end, but these ones are done. So these two have actually already sold. This one sold before it was even finished, and this one sold yesterday. I literally just listed it, and then it sold about 2 hours later, which I was so grateful for. I'm always so grateful for every single order, but when it's a tumbler, like something that I've put so much love and like I just pour so much creativity into it, and then someone buys it like that, it makes it all so worth it. So these have already sold, but this one is available. It is on the ready to ship section of my website right now. Just look at the shine. The shine from this comes from Apex Quantum Epoxy Resin. Such a mouthful. So I exclusively use Apex Epoxy Resin, the Apex Quantum Regular and the Apex Quantum Fast Set. They are the same resin, but one is obviously a fast set, one is a regular set. I use the fast set for things like adhering my glitters, and I use the regular set for things like resin swirls, because obviously you need the longer work time with those because you're dropping all the alcohol inks and blasting heat and that kind of stuff. I also use the regular set for the very last coat on any epoxy tumbler. And the reason for that is mostly because by the time it reaches the last coat, there is no urgency really with getting to the next step. I'm so impatient when I'm doing the glitter steps or the vinyl steps or really any step in the process of making these tumblers. I want it to be done so I can move on to the next bit. But epoxy resin doesn't really work like that. It just takes as long as it takes, and you kind of have to suck it up. So the best workaround of that for me is to use a fast set. Yeah, once it gets to the very last coat, I literally put on that last coat. It also has less risk for things like bubbles, because obviously where it cures that much slower, the bubbles have time to kind of rise to the top or pop or just essentially create that final perfect shine on every tumbler. I mean, it speaks for itself. Look at that. I just love it so much. So yeah, this is available on the ready to ship section. It is finished, complete. I will never ever ship an epoxy tumbler any sooner than about 3 or 4 days after it has had its final coat, because that just gives it time to make sure it is fully hardened and is safe to ship. So this one has had its few days and is ready to go. This is my Korean demon hunters. I never know what I'm allowed to say. So this is one of my all-time favourite creations, probably because this is one of my all-time favourite ever films. And I know that there will probably be a divide with that statement, but I truly believe that this movie is one of the best things to have come out of Netflix ever. And I said this to my husband, and he was like, what about like Stranger Things? And I was like, yeah, it's up there definitely. And like Wednesday, that, don't get me wrong, Netflix have released some absolutely epic movies, series, everything. But this, for me, it trumps all of it. And I don't know why. I think somehow this movie, it just speaks to me. And I love it so much. And our household, honestly, you would be so sick of this soundtrack if you were in this household. So anyway, when I saw this set of the print here and then the matching decal, I knew I had to make it. And I knew if nobody bought it, I know someone who wants it, and that would be my child, because she saw it and she was fuming that it was not for her. So I do feel a bit bad for her that she can't have this one. But at the same time, like I said, I am so grateful to the customer who bought this 2 hours after I listed it. So that's this one. And then the last one, this is one of my favourites actually. I'm not normally a spooky kind of gal. I'm more of like a spooky cute kind of vibes. So I made this tumbler, and it has, I made this version, which is obviously the like pinky lilac. Look at them. And then it has the cobweb cut out. I mean, that was, let me tell you, that was a struggle to get that right. And the first time I did it, it wasn't quite right. It was a bit of a mess. So it took me a few goes. I love this one so much. So this is the pinky version, and then I've got the same print, but the backing is black. So it's literally the same images all over it, but it's in black. So this is the black version. So like I said, exactly the same imagery. The glitter in the middle is, this is called Lametta, and it is kind of like an iridescent white, cool toned white glitter. And then the vinyl is glow in the dark. I'll insert a picture here of it glowing, because my goodness me, as you can see, the decal that goes across the middle here, when this has been in the daylight and then you turn all the lights off at night time, the vinyl glows so bright, it glows through the decal that's here. You can literally see the inside of the cobweb here. It actually ended up being purchased by the same customer. She bought both. I love this decal so much. So she bought both of these. They are a matching pair. They had to go together really, didn't they? She saw this one first and was like, oh, because she knew I was making the pinky version. She's like, oh, I'm definitely gonna need the pink one. She saw the process of this being made. She's like, yep, definitely gonna need that. And then a couple of days later, she was like, I feel like I need the black one as well, so they can come as a pair. And she had already placed an order with me that was ready to ship. It's literally here right next to me now. And she said, can you just hold off on sending that order, because I want both of these, so just send them all together. So she's got a custom sparkly, it's not a sparkly Stanley, it's a sparkly dupe. And then she's got both of these too. I don't know how I got so lucky as to have customers who want to spend their hard-earned money with me and my creations, but I will be forever grateful. The one thing I need to do before I ever ship a tumbler is I clean the inside. You can probably see this one's actually pretty good. There's really not much in there, but sometimes you get a little bit of like grime just from like where you've been working with it. And obviously my hands have been all over it. Epoxy resin, glitter. So I just give it a little spritz with some rubbing alcohol, because that will kill off any bacteria. It also cleans up any marks that are in there. And that just means that it is safe to drink from as soon as the customer receives it. However, I always put in my care instructions, although I wash every single tumbler before I ship it, I always advise that you wash it before first use as well. I'm definitely feeling a bit more organised now. So the finished tumblers have been packed up and either boxed up or put into the ready to ship section. The ones that are nearly finished will be finished later today, and then the rest are on like the next step of the journey. One of which is my candy cane Stanley. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'll bring it over for you to see. I'm doing like a Milky Way style candy cane Stanley tumbler, which will also be on the ready to ship section in due course. So that won't be able to, I can't even do anything with that until later on today, because I've got far too many other things to do first, but everything else I feel like I've shut down those tabs in my brain. So I've got one order that's come in this morning I need to pack up quickly now. Everything else is up to date. I packed them all up last night, shipped them off this morning. So we're going to pack that one order, and then we're going to get these subscription boxes organised. This room at the moment, it is a hot mess. Like, honestly, I normally really struggle to work like this because, I mean, every corner I look in, there is something that shouldn't really be there. It should be put away. I've got like, even little things. I need to tuck my chair in. I've got my mug I need to take down. I've got packing peanuts because it's the end of the bag. Normally I have this ginormous thing is normally full to the brim, and I kid you not, as you can see, I've cut this down, right? Because normally, as the packing peanuts start to go down, this gets too much, so I cut it. So normally it is about this tall, full of packing peanuts, and so I just can't have it in here with me. But because it's like the last few, I have got it in here, but it's not meant to be in here, so it fills my brain with clutter. Just, yeah, stuff like that. You can't see it because it's out of the frame, but in front of me here, I have got loads of CraftFest stuff. In fact, so this is my crafting area, which you will have seen a million times, that I work out every day. All of this here is CraftFest. These are obviously pegboard walls. That is my banner. Just some ready to ship tumblers I'm making. These are the hooks. There's my cash box, my little CraftFest tumbler from last year. Oh, I love it so much. All the merch. And the rest of the stuff in this room is stuff that I cannot show you because it is all secret. It's either new stuff, subscription stuff, CraftFest stuff. There are a lot of just secret squirrels. There's stuff with my address on it. There's just stuff I can't show you. But yeah, at the moment, this room is just, it's actually stressing me out. So maybe what I'll do, like after CraftFest, is like a clean up my craft room, my office with me kind of vlog. If you'd be interested in that, then please leave me a comment to let me know, because I can definitely do that. Either way, I'm going to have to clear this up because it stresses me out. So what I have done is gotten out all of the boxes for the number of existing subscribers, and then plus a few extras in case of new subscribers signing up for October. It's moments like this, honestly, where I really, really wish I had you guys in the room with me, because, oh no! Hang on a minute. Oh no, panic over, panic over. Okay, crisis averted. I thought my laptop was broken, it's not. Where was I? Yeah, it's times like this, I really wish I had you in the room with me, because I'm like racking my brains now about like theme names, and like what I find when I come to like naming or theming my subscription boxes, the label, the actual creation of the label comes relatively easily to me, because I think once I have the theme, I kind of know how I want it to look. It's the coming up with the name and the theme in the first place that makes me always rack my brains. Like I'm now thinking, do I need to come up with a play on words? Like, or do I just go, now I've said that, I feel like maybe I have already come up with the name. I do this all the time. I do it all the time where I get really, really organised, and then I forget that I've gotten so organised, and then I have a struggle later on, and then I'm like, oh, I actually did this already. So let's have a little look. I'm just going to go into my spreadsheet, my subscription spreadsheet. Here is the moment of truth, October. Oh no, I haven't come up with a name. I thought I did. So then for October, yeah, I need to really get my thinking cap on. I tell you what, I'm going to show you what glitters are in the October subscription, because that might help to get my like naming juices flowing. First up, we have got this one. This is a kind of copper, warm coppery brown, and this is called Fireplace Crackle. This is an already existing glitter, but the one that I already have is a chunky mix. This is the fine glitter version of an existing glitter called Aphrodite. It's just a really vibrant postbox red fine glitter. That's going to be really good for Christmas, actually. This one is called Pumpkin Patch, for obvious reasons. Right, so this is actually the return of a previous glitter. However, it is ever so slightly different to the original. So the original is sadly discontinued. They do not make that colour anymore. So I asked them, for my manufacturer, for like a list or like a catalogue of anything that they would have in a similar collection with similar colours. Like, as in, when I say a similar collection, I mean my manufacturer supplies their glitters in series the same way that I do. So obviously I have my Carnival series, I have my Whimsical series, I have my Nostalgia series, And the manufacturers do the same thing, but they come at it from a different angle to what I do. I obviously come at it from how I've themed them, or similar finishes, or like the beach, like vacay mode was all beach named and beach vibes. But theirs is based, it is a series based on the material, the film, the type of film that they use to make them. So when I asked them for the same collection with similar colours, this was the closest one they gave me to the original sweater weather, and this is what we have now. So it's a kind of coppery brown, yellowy gold kind of mixture. Really autumnal and just, oh yeah, reminds me of like bonfire nights and just lovely. So this is called Sweater Weather. And then the very last one, this, do you know, this one, I've really surprised myself with this because I did not expect to love this as much as I do, because it's just not me at all. You're probably watching this thinking, oh, what colour is this going to be? Because I am very, as you know, I am very much like a purple girl. I love sparkles and pretty things. And this is not usually a bit of me, but I love this one. And I think it might be my favourite in this month's subscription box. That is so hard to say. So this is called Chunky Cardi. Bet you didn't think that would be my favourite, but I love that one so much. So all of these 5 together, I just felt like made for the most beautiful autumn. I can't hold them all at the same time, but you get the idea. They make the most beautiful autumnal mixture of finishes collection of glitter. Lo and behold, just like I thought it would, by me showing you those glitters and kind of seeing them all together again, it has given me the inspo for the name, for the theme. So I'm going to call this month's subscription box Autumn Walks. Autumn Walks. Because it makes me think of, like, especially when I was younger, I used to go on, like, I was going to say national parks. We don't really have national parks, but you know, like the National Trust, I think that's what I was thinking of, like the National Trust parks that are usually in like countryside areas, and they're very woody, and there's usually rivers and that kind of walk. And I used to go conker collecting with my dad, and it's very nostalgic for me. And I love autumn for that, and like snuggly blankets and, you know, barn-like pubs and hot drinks, and just, I love that. So I'm going to call that Autumn Walks. Autumn walks or autumnal walks, a walk in autumn.
Honestly, why am I like this? Somebody help me. This is why I mean, I wish somebody will be shouting through the screen like the name, they'll be coming up with a name that I'm just not, and I can't hear you. Oh, I think I'm going to call it an autumn walk, or a walk in autumn, an autumnal walk. Sorry, just to give you a little bit of like backstory. So I reached my 1 year anniversary of doing Sparkle subscriptions in August of this year. So therefore I've already had an October Sparkle subscription box. And last year, I believe that the last year's October box was called Fall into Spooky Season. So I kind of did a play on words and I made it the spooky season box. However, this year I did that earlier, and that I did it in September, because my logic was people receiving their Sparkle subscriptions within the first week of October, they will have already been making their spooky season creations a lot sooner than that. And so I realised quite quickly with these subscriptions that whatever the theme is, I kind of need to be ahead of the season because people are going to need the glitters in advance of that. So fall into spooky season won't now work. This is what I'm trying to get at. I guess I could use a fall into autumn. Fall into autumn. I quite like that. No one's going to remember that I used the play on words with the word fall this time last year. I hope they don't. Fall into autumn, I think that's a better one. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Right, so then in that case, now that we have decided on fall into autumn, I'm going to have to create, this was last month's label that goes on the inside of the box. So then this month we need to change all of this. So we need to take out all of these bewitched elements here. And we need to obviously change the month from September to October. Then we just need to change the name to Fall into Autumn. Now that I have the name and the theme all sorted, now it becomes so much easier to come up with the various different elements that I'm going to add to this label. So let's have a little look through for some autumn elements. I think we're there. It's never, these little labels, they never are intended to, oh, excuse me. Every time. Yeah, so these are never intended to be full of detail. They're just a little something to kind of show what it's about and what to expect when the customer opens the box. So I think that's quite cute. Got a little pumpkin spice latte in there, some leaves, a sweater, obviously pumpkins, a little candle with some books. I think that really well represents an autumnal kind of day. So we're gonna go with that. Then the boxes are labelled, the glitters are ready, so let's box these up. So honestly, there is no fast way around this. This is a very manual job. It literally is a case of making up the boxes one by one and putting the glitters into them, just the same way that I would pack any other order. So it is a manual process, but in my opinion, that just adds to the level of love, you know, that goes into them. So, first box packed up and ready to go. Now, obviously, I do not send them out just like this with loads of space in, and every single one has their own little thank you card, you know, the little thank you note with their name on it and everything else, and then I will fill them out with packing peanuts and fragile stickers and all of that stuff to make sure that they arrive safely to their new homes. But this is just prep, we are just getting them in the boxes for now. So all I'm gonna do is box them up and create a little Sparkle subscription tower next to me here in preparation for next week. So, Sparkle subscription boxes are labelled and made up. Glitters are in the boxes. There are still some spares. I always have spares anyway, because obviously, well, mostly for in case people decide to subscribe in that given month, but also even if they don't, I then still need to have enough glitters of the subscription box glitters to then launch the following month. So I always have leftovers in case people want to repurchase, or in case the public would like to buy them later down the line. So they can all go away now as well. I am feeling so much better just for having gotten something ticked off the list. It wasn't even something that was kind of weighing on my mind. Normally, if I've got like a big mental to-do list, my mind feels very full. So I'm actually quite glad that that wasn't one of them. It just occurred to me today that next week's going to be so busy, I should probably get it done now. So I'm like ahead of the game instead of constantly chasing my tail, which is how it feels a lot of the time. So yeah, that feels so much better to have gotten that done. So if you have been thinking about signing up to my monthly Sparkle subscription, then you can do that using the link that I have left in the description box below. If you sign up in the first 2 weeks of the month, you will receive that month's Sparkle subscription, and then you will be charged again on the first of the following month when it renews, and then the first of every month after that. If you sign up in the second 2 weeks of the month, you will not receive that month's subscription box. It will fall automatically into the following month, but the first of that month's payment will not be charged. It will automatically skip so that you are not charged twice. So just bear that in mind if you do subscribe
when you choose to subscribe, it will have an impact on which month's box you receive first. And if you do have any questions about the billing schedule or how the Sparkle subscription works, there is a whole lot of information listed in the actual listing itself on the website. So if you go into the Sparkle subscription and scroll down, you'll find all the information that you need there. If you do not get all the information you need, you can always reach out to me and ask me the question. I will be happy to help. And once again, I have run out of time, so that is my cue to get going. So thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and please consider subscribing. I would love to have you, and I will see you in the next one.